I stood in the kitchen on Christmas morning, cooking for 15 people while my husband's family sat in the living room laughing and opening gifts. My mother-in-law Victoria called out, "Sophia, the coffee's cold. Make a fresh pot." Not please, not thank you, just a command, like I was the hired help. I'd been cooking since 5 a.m. Turkey, ham, side dishes, desserts, everything. While they celebrated Christmas without me. This had been my life for 10 years. Every Christmas, every holiday, every family gathering, I cooked, I cleaned, I served. While they enjoyed themselves and treated me like I was invisible. What they didn't know was that 3 months ago, I'd bought their house, the mansion they were sitting in, the home they thought they owned, and today, Christmas Day, I was going to tell them. Then I was going to evict them. My name is Sophia Martinez. I'm 36 years old, and this is the story of how I pretended to be poor for a decade while my husband's family mocked me. Until the Christmas I finally destroyed them. I met Daniel Harrington 12 years ago. He was charming, successful, from a wealthy family. When he proposed, I said yes immediately. Then I met his family, the Harringtons, old money, country club memberships, the kind of people who measure your worth by your last name and your bank account. At our first family dinner, Victoria looked at my dress. Target. How economical. Daniel's sister Amanda laughed. Does your family have money? Or is Daniel marrying down? I smiled politely. My parents passed away. They were a mechanic and a nurse. I'm an elementary school teacher. The room went silent. Then Victoria forced a smile. Well, love is what matters, right? But her eyes said something different. You're not good enough for my son. What they didn't know was the truth. My father hadn't just been a mechanic. He'd owned Martinez Auto Group, 23 locations, 3 states. When he died, I inherited everything. Sold the business for $8 million. My mother had been brilliant with investments, real estate, stocks. When she passed, another $4 million came to me. By the time I met Daniel, I was worth $12 million. But I never told him, never told anyone. I lived simply, taught school because I loved it, drove a normal car, saved my money, invested quietly. Why? Because I wanted to know if Daniel loved me for me, not for money, not for what I could give him, just me. He passed that test. He loved me even though he thought I was just a poor teacher. His family did not pass that test. From the moment we got engaged, they made it clear I wasn't good enough. At our wedding, Victoria wore white, sat in the front row looking like she was attending a funeral, cried through the entire ceremony. Not happy tears, grief tears, mourning the better wife Daniel could have had. Our first Christmas as a married couple, Victoria announced a new tradition. Sophia, you'll handle the cooking. I'm getting older. I need help. It's what family does. I agreed. Thought it would be a bonding experience? I was wrong. I arrived at 7 a.m. Christmas morning to start cooking. The family arrived at noon. Ate, opened gifts, laughed, had a wonderful time. I stayed in the kitchen the entire day. When I finally sat down at 3 p.m., exhausted, Victoria said, "Oh good, you're done. Can you start on dishes?" Daniel said nothing, just kept talking to his father about golf. That became the pattern. Every Christmas, every Thanksgiving, every Easter, every birthday party, I cooked, I cleaned, I served, they celebrated. Year 2, Amanda brought her new boyfriend, introduced him to everyone. When she got to me, she said, "This is Sophia. She's like our housekeeper, but free." She laughed. Everyone laughed. Daniel didn't defend me. Year 3, Victoria gave me a maid's apron as a Christmas gift. Thought you could use this since you spend so much time in the kitchen anyway. The whole family thought it was hilarious. I wore it, smiled, kept cooking. Year 4, they started eating before I even sat down. By the time I finished serving everyone and joined the table, dinner was half over. Cold food for me. Every time. Year 5, Victoria started inviting her friends to Christmas, told them I was the help. Introduced me to her bridge club as Daniel's wife. She does all our cooking. Not part of the family. The cook. Year 6, I overheard Daniel's brother talking. Can you believe Daniel married her? She's basically a servant. Mom should pay her. Daniel was in the room. He heard it, said nothing. Year 7, they stopped buying me Christmas gifts entirely. Just gave me a card. Thanks for all you do. Like I was staff receiving a holiday bonus. Year 8, Victoria told me I couldn't sit at the main table anymore. We're having important guests. You understand? Wouldn't want to make them uncomfortable. I ate in the kitchen. Alone. On Christmas, while my husband sat with his family in the next room. Year 9, I'd had enough. I went to a lawyer. Had him research the Harringtons' finances. Turns out they weren't as wealthy as they pretended. Victoria's late husband had left them the house, but property taxes were killing them. They'd taken out loans against it, were months behind on payments. The bank was about to foreclose. That's when I made my move. I bought their debt, paid off the bank, became their creditor. Then I bought the house outright when they couldn't pay me back. All of it done through LLCs and lawyers, completely anonymous. They had no idea I was the new owner of their precious family mansion. This Christmas, year 10, was going to be different. I arrived at 5 a.m. like always, started cooking. The family arrived at noon, opened gifts, ate my food, ignored me. At 3 p.m., Victoria called out, "Sophia, the kitchen's a mess. Get started on cleanup." I walked into the living room. Everyone looked up, annoyed at the interruption. "Actually," I said calmly, "I have an announcement." Victoria frowned. "This isn't the time. We're celebrating." I pulled out an envelope, handed it to her. "This is my Christmas gift to you." She opened it. Read the documents inside. Her face went white. "What is this?" "It's an eviction notice. I own this house now. Have for 3 months. You're behind on rent. You have 30 days to vacate." The room exploded. Daniel stood up. "What are you talking about? You don't own this house." "Actually, I do. I bought it when the bank foreclosed. Paid cash. It's mine." Victoria was shaking. "This is impossible. You're a teacher. You don't have that kind of money." I smiled. "I'm not just a teacher. I'm worth $12 million. Inherited it from my parents. The mechanic and nurse you all looked down on. They built an empire. And I've been quietly wealthy this entire time. Watching you treat me like garbage." Amanda's mouth fell open. $12 million. You've had $12 million this whole time. Why didn't you tell us?" "Because I wanted to see who you really were. Turns out, you're exactly who I thought. People who only value money. Who treat others like servants. Who measure worth by bank accounts instead of character." Daniel tried to approach me. "Sophia, we can talk about this." "There's nothing to talk about. I've spent 10 years being treated like hired help in this family. Cooking your meals, cleaning your messes, being insulted and dismissed. All while you sat back and let it happen." Victoria found her voice. "You can't throw us out. This is our family home. It was your family home. Now it's my investment property. And you're trespassing. I already have buyers lined up. You have 30 days. I turned to leave. Daniel grabbed my arm. "You're my wife. We can work this out." I pulled away. "No, we can't. Because you watched them treat me like trash for 10 years and never once defended me. You sat at that table while I ate alone in the kitchen. You laughed when they called me the help. You're just as bad as they are. Where will we go?" Victoria whispered. "I don't care. Figure it out." Like I had to figure out how to maintain my dignity while you treated me like I was nothing. I walked out, got in my car, drove to my real house, the one they didn't know about, the penthouse downtown, went inside, poured myself wine, and felt free for the first time in a decade. The fallout was immediate. Daniel called hundreds of times. I blocked him, filed for divorce the next day. His family tried to contest the eviction. Couldn't. Everything was legal? Ironclad? They had to leave. Victoria tried to reach out, apologized, said she'd been wrong. Too late. Amanda posted on social media about how I'd betrayed the family. I posted the truth. 10 years of being treated like a servant. The photos I'd secretly taken of eating alone in the kitchen on Christmas while they celebrated without me. Public opinion turned fast. The Harringtons became known as the family who abused their daughter-in-law for a decade. Their social standing collapsed. Their friends abandoned them. Daniel lost his job. Turns out his company didn't like being associated with that kind of family drama. They moved into a small apartment. Had to sell their cars? Had to adjust to life without the wealth and status they'd built their identity around. Me, I'm thriving. I met someone new. Someone kind who values me. I still teach because I love it. But I also travel, donate to charities, live the life I always deserved. Last week, I drove past the old Harrington mansion. The new owners have children. I can see them through the windows on Christmas, laughing together, treating each other with love and respect. That house finally has the family it deserves. My name is Sophia Martinez. I'm 36 years old, and I spent 10 years being treated like a maid by my husband's family while secretly being wealthier than all of them combined. They thought I was nothing. I proved I was everything. Never let anyone treat you as less than you are.
And never be afraid to walk away from people who don't value you, even if it's family. Especially if it's family. Merry Christmas to me. And to everyone else who's ever been underestimated. Lesson: never judge people by their appearance or treat anyone as beneath you. The person you're dismissing might be the one who ends up owning everything you have. Respect is earned through how you treat others, not through money or status. And karma always comes around, sometimes wearing an apron.